Assassination of Kazem Rajavi, 1990. On a quiet afternoon in April 1990, the serene streets of Covert, a small town near Geneva, Switzerland, became the backdrop of a meticulously orchestrated assassination. Kazem Rajavi, a prominent Iranian dissident and human rights advocate, was driving home when his car was ambushed by a team of professional assassins. Moments later, a hail of bullets tore through his vehicle, leaving him dead. But this was no ordinary murder. It was a message, a chilling declaration from the Islamic Republic of Iran that no critic, no matter how far from Tehran, was beyond their reach. The assassins were linked to none other than the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, and their mission was clear: eliminate one of the regime's most outspoken enemies. Kazem Rajavi was not just another dissident. He was a man whose life was dedicated to exposing the brutality of the Iranian regime. As the brother of Masoud Rajavi, the leader of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, NCRI, and the People's Mujahideen of Iran, MEK, Kazem was a thorn in the side of the Iranian establishment. His work had gained international recognition, and his relentless advocacy for human rights had brought Iran's atrocities to the forefront of global consciousness. Rajavi had lobbied tirelessly at the United Nations, drawing attention to the countless executions, torture, and suppression inflicted by the regime. For the Iranian leadership, his efforts were more than an inconvenience. They were a direct threat to their grip on power. The order for Rajavi's assassination likely came from the highest levels of the Iranian government. Intelligence gathered after his death pointed to a sophisticated operation executed by a team of 13 Iranian agents, all of whom had traveled to Switzerland on diplomatic passports. These operatives, many with known ties to the IRGC and the Ministry of Intelligence and Security, MOIS, meticulously planned the assassination, leaving nothing to chance. In the days leading up to the attack, the assassins tracked Rajavi's movements, familiarizing themselves with his routine. They waited for the perfect moment, and on April 24, 1990, they struck. As Rajavi approached his home in Covert, the hit squad ambushed his car and unleashed a barrage of gunfire. He never stood a chance. The assassins vanished as quickly as they had appeared, slipping across the Swiss border before authorities could respond. But the assassination left behind a trail of damning evidence. Swiss authorities quickly linked the attackers to Iranian diplomatic missions, uncovering a network of operatives who had used diplomatic channels to plan and execute the hit. The sheer brazenness of the operation shocked European authorities. This was not a covert hit by rogue elements. It was a state-sponsored assassination, carried out with the precision and ruthlessness that had become the hallmark of the IRGC. The Swiss government, despite mounting evidence, found itself entangled in a web of diplomatic complexities. Iran's use of diplomatic immunity to shield its operatives from prosecution posed a significant challenge. The assassins had fled the country, and extradition requests were met with silence from Tehran. Despite the overwhelming evidence implicating the Iranian regime, the perpetrators escaped justice, highlighting the impunity with which Iran's agents operated on foreign soil. Kazem Rajavi's assassination was not an isolated event. It was part of a broader campaign by the IRGC and MOIS to silence dissidents and eliminate perceived threats to the regime. The Iranian government had already carried out similar assassinations of Kurdish leaders in Vienna and exiled dissidents in Paris and Berlin. But the murder of Rajavi struck a particular nerve because of his international stature and relentless advocacy for human rights. His death sent shockwaves through the Iranian diaspora, chilling opposition movements and reinforcing the message that dissent would be met with deadly consequences. For the IRGC, the assassination of Kazem Rajavi was not merely an act of vengeance. It was a calculated move to dismantle the NCRI's influence and undermine international efforts to expose Iran's human rights abuses. It was a reminder that the long arm of the Islamic Republic extended far beyond Iran's borders, capable of eliminating enemies wherever they sought refuge. But if the IRGC's goal was to silence Kazem Rajavi's voice, they failed. His assassination did not extinguish the flame of resistance, it ignited it. His death galvanized opposition movements and drew global attention to the regime's use of state-sponsored terrorism as a tool of repression. International human rights organizations, outraged by the assassination, intensified their scrutiny of Iran's actions. The United Nations and European governments were forced to confront the harsh reality that Iran was willing to carry out assassinations on foreign soil to maintain its grip on power. Kazem Rajavi's legacy lives on in the ongoing struggle for justice and human rights in Iran. His tireless advocacy exposed the Iranian regime's brutality to the world, and his death became a symbol of the price paid by those who dared to speak truth to power. Though the assassins may have succeeded in silencing his voice, they could not erase the impact of his work. His sacrifice remains a testament to the courage of those who resist tyranny, even when the cost is their own life. The assassination of Kazem Rajavi was not just a murder. It was a declaration of war against dissent, a stark warning to all who dared to challenge Iran's authoritarian rule. And while his killers may have escaped justice, the memory of Kazem Rajavi endures as a powerful reminder that even in death, the pursuit of justice cannot be silenced.